Hey, you guys. So I just went down this rabbit trail and I think I found something very interesting. You guys, I just made a video comparing Trump to Cyrus and how Cyrus was used as an instrument, okay, by God, and just like Trump is going to be used as an instrument of God, okay? Um, what Cyrus did when he um, after the 70 years after the exile of the Israelites out of the Babylonian captivity, and he told them to go back. He allowed them to go back to Jerusalem, build a temple. He even donated things to the temple. Okay, but what he did in Babylon, once he conquered Babylon, was he made an offering to the Babylonian god Marduk. Okay. Also, um, I was watching a video on yesterday, and they were talking about the similarities between the United States and Israel, and they went on to talk about how um, I don't want to. Maybe that'll be a separate video, but they want to talk about how you know Jacob had the 12 sons and Dinah, which 13, and also how we had 13 colonies, how both nations became came, became as a result of bloodshed, and also how um, we all know that Israel was supposed to be a godly model nation. I talked about that in one of those videos. But also, um, America was supposed to be a godly model nation. We were supposed to build our nation based on the moral laws um, found in the Bible. Now, the 613 commandments or the Mosaic Law is composed of the moral law, the ceremonial law, and the civil law. Okay, if I'm not mistaken. So, America, although other founding fathers weren't saved or believers, um, we were supposed to base our um, the the building of America on basically the principles of the Bible. Okay, and so we have this spiritual connection to Israel, and we are Israel's allies. Um, I also talked about how um, Jeremiah 51, this angelic visitation I believe I had, was um, a judgment on Babylon declared by Jeremiah. Okay, and I also talked about Babylon, the destruction of Babylon, there being a literal destruction of Babylon, and then we go to of the literal Babylon, and then we have mystery Babylon, which some say, um, you know, just looking at it, we would think America, and some would say it's the Roman Catholic Church, correct? I know when I had the vision, that was the whole point of those two videos. The Lord used what He thought I knew, and now um, He'll meet you where you are. Okay, that was the whole point of those two videos, not just to expound on Jeremiah 51, but he took what he knew. I would think about it, and just like many others do when they read Jeremiah 50 and 51, they immediately think of America. Okay? we fit the bill in so many ways. Okay, Babylon is fallen. Um, and then, so again, when we look at Babylon and Revelation, Mystery Babylon, a lot of people think it's America. Um, but there's clues indicate it's a mystery. It's called a mystery for a reason. Okay, Roman Catholic Church or Babylon. But what I discovered today, you guys, and out in this video, is when I was looking at um, a video that someone sent me. I'll leave it below because I don't want to get into it and I haven't finished watching it yet. He mentioned Lamentations 4, which I want to do because that's the scripture reference for the fourth part of a dream. I was telling you guys I want to finish doing, but also he showed how the uh, uh, the a rabbi was sucking blood from a child, from a circumcised child. Okay, and I feel like he went into talking about how it was, the Talmud, and the Talmud. This is how I got all the way down here. The Talmud basically is more there are two. Okay, the Talmud is a discussion, if you will, um, of what or interpretation of what the written law is. Okay, and there are two types. There's a Jerusalem Talmud and there's a Babylonian Talmud. Well, guess which one is more upheld among Orthodox Rabbinic Jews? The Babylonian Talmud. I didn't even know it was two Talmuds. I just thought it was one. Okay, there's more. There's one that's more sacred, and then there's one. If I'm not mistaken, I have notes on this, but I don't want to get into all that. There's one that's more sacred, and and then there's one that's just more. It's called the Babylonian Talmud, and it's studied more so than even the Torah because it's what we would regard as like a commentary. It's a commentary of what the scriptures are, the Torah it is, and it's got fables in it. Okay, um, that's why the word, I think Second Timothy 2 or 1 says that people will be turned away into fables. They would not adhere sound doctrine. Okay? So, the Talmud, which I didn't know, like I said, there are two different types of Talmuds. It is said to contain fables. It is said to contain, it's just discussions and opinions more so, okay? Than compared to the Torah itself. Okay, um, when I seen that there was a Babylonian Talmud, it gave me revelation of that's why the Lord, when He gave me that open vision, it's a continual open vision. Things that will happen in Israel, what happened in United States, vice versa. Okay, this thing has been going on for like 2 years, and also it brought me to the book of Amos. Okay, the party cities. Jerusalem is the the capital of the LGBTQ, and the United States, or uh, New York, where they had the riots, um, for the riots that resulted in more LGBTQ rights, was in New York. Um, it just hit me like it's so many things that I've been doing videos on. You guys, if you haven't seen the Purim celebrations, being compared to the 50th anniversary um, of the riots, Stonewall riots in New York, the similarities between those two. Um, I made a video on that, and it was like it's just one more thing. But when I said all I had to say this, it's just one more thing. When people see America, or when people see Mystery Babylon, or even literal Babylon written about in Jeremiah 51 and Revelation, 18, 16, 17, they think of America. And for me to discover that the Talmud is the Babylonian Talmud, because there's a Jerusalem Talmud and there's a Babylonian Talmud. For me to discover that the Babylonian Talmud is more upheld and more received by Orthodox Rabbinic Jews, it's one more answer to that particular vision as to why things will happen simultaneously between between Israel and the United States. And it kind of it just blows my mind, because it goes back so far of our connection, our similarities. Okay, um, whatever I didn't mention in this video, or yeah, whatever I didn't mention in this video, I'll leave below. But I'll leave that video that someone shared with me, tagged me in on Facebook. It's an hour and some change long, but it's video clips. It's different. It's a compilation of different things. Seems to be very interesting, you guys. But boy, 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 if it's time for Jacob's trouble, we can be for sure that the judgment that we're feeling here in the United States is it's right on time. It's right on time. Okay, you guys. I'll talk with. I'll come back and talk with you later on. This video will be too long.